Good afternoon. I'm Carl Garth, and welcome to another episode of the Champion Chat with Counsellor Alison Champion. Alison, it's always great to have you. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you very much, Carl. It's nice to be warm and dry in the cold, wet, rainy day that we have.
We have had 3 days of wonderful weather, and the weekend was great. And unfortunately, we're really about to experience winter sports this weekend,
Yes, we are.
which is really a great thing because today we're going to talk about the exciting time in Banyule for all of our local sports. They're in full swing. We're just about coming into the final season for our sports like football, AFL, soccer, baseball, golf, and many more.
Mm.
And as we know, sport's more than just the scores and the people on the field. We're talking facilities, volunteers, and the community that actually gets involved every week with keeping the sports running, keeping the community alive and thriving. And joining us today for this conversation, we have some amazing guests from the local sporting landscape. From the Lower Plenty Football and Netball Club, we have Michael Malone. And from the Heidelberg Golf Club, we have Narelle Wilson. So welcome to both of you today, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Carl. Thanks very much.
If I could ask, Michael, you've been the president of the football club, the Lower Plenty Football Netball Club, for just over 2 years, 2.5 years now. Is that right?
Yeah, this is my third year, Alison. That's correct.
Yep. And obviously I see you at the launch, every season launch at the start of the year. I get invited, which is wonderful because then I get to have a chat and listen to some really good keynote speakers as well who were invited along. And of course, there's always someone there who wants to ask a question about what's going on with council and, what's happening with whatever's going on the grounds. So Nick got in touch with me about that this year.
There's always people interested in what's happening around the club and what facilities and how's the council helping. Common question.
Yeah, which is brilliant because then there's a collaborative approach and, there's knowledge. There's knowledge and there's support. Yeah. And earlier this year, Councillor Alida McKern and I were invited to the women's Heidelberg Golf Club women's team to attend one of their meetings and have a conversation about how council can connect with them. And I'm really rapt that Simone got in touch with us, Narelle, and has invited you to join us today. So Alida and I actually learnt something about the women's group, the women's team at the Heidelberg Golf Club. Do you want to expand a little bit on that, Narelle?
Thanks, Alison. Yeah, it was fantastic that you could come and meet all of the women and have a bit of an understanding on, I guess, the networking that we do and the sort of the support that the women give to each other. We do have a women's committee, and I am the vice president of the Heidelberg Women's Committee. And yes, we are always interested in getting feedback and help and support for the constant sort of trying to encourage new women to take up the sport of golf.
Yeah. No, that's good. So we can, so now that we've met, we can connect a little bit more regularly.
Absolutely. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that's good.
Look, that's a great segue into, to be honest, we talked before about volunteers and people who help make the clubs and competitions run. Could you both give us a little bit of a background about some of what's involved in the positions that you hold and what you do on days not in competition, but also on competition days? Michael, we might start with you if you don't mind.
I'm president of the football club, and I'm strongly supported by a small group of volunteers, both women and men, who do an awful lot of work around the club. We've got probably 300 odd people involved in our club. And we have 3 senior men's team, we have a women's team, and we have 2 all abilities teams. So if you put all that together, there's a lot of work involved with making sure that everybody gets access, everybody's included, and everybody has a bit of fun, because that's really what it's all about, fun and well-being and fitness. So I do a lot of things myself, but my two vice presidents have been in the club for many years and are very passionate, and they do a lot of things that I know about some of the time, and some of the time I find out a little bit later. But I like giving them as much freedom as they can possibly get. Mm-hmm. So we do probably this year. Some of the things we're doing is recycling all our cans and plastic bottles and things like that through the CDS system or through the machines, and that's. While it's very laborious and not the cleanest job in the world, it's providing us with another revenue stream, which is important. And also, I think from a general point of view around the suburb, it keeps things a lot cleaner. There's an awful lot of people doing it. So there's a lot less rubbish, I think, in the streets than there used to be. So there's some very, very positives there.
Mm-hmm. It's very exciting. We're looking forward to the newly surfaced car parking. Very excited because it isn't great right now. But I love that you're using the CDS scheme for your cans and bottles. Several years ago, the previous president, Grant, got in touch with me. Actually, I think it was sort of the first year I was on council. Grant got in touch with me regarding recycling, the possibility of the club being able to recycle its cans and its bottles. And at the moment, it is a challenge for local councils to, provide for a recycling scheme for public areas like clubs, as compared with individual residential areas. So we've got because the state government's rolled out the CDS, the Container Deposit Scheme. That is a perfect opportunity for the clubs to recycle their cans and their bottles. And, one thing that would be great too is if we can include wine bottles in that, which is another conversation we're working on. Yeah, that's a bigger picture thing too. But yes, that is great that you're doing that.
Yeah, no, it's a very good thing, and it's going towards assets for the club. So any money that we raise, it goes towards buying different assets. We've already bought a new barbecue, some signage, things like that. So it's not paying players, but it's trying to improve the environment, the equipment that the club holds. So yeah, I think that's very important.
Yeah, that's wonderful. It's really good news. Yeah.
And Narelle, would you like to give us a little bit about the background of the Heidelberg Golf Club women's teams and what your involvement is?
Sure. So I'm new to being vice president. This is my first year of being vice president. I was sort of half in, half out last year as vice president. We have a captain, a president, and myself, and then we have 4 general members on the women's committee. And I guess on a day-to-day basis, it's probably not every day that I'm doing something around the club, but weekly, absolutely. Whether it be helping to sort of just get up and do a presentation. I do welcome letters to new members. We make sure that we have bilingual. Most of our signs are bilingual, having a lot of Chinese members. So that's something that I do on the side. We look after trophies, we look after all those things. And we also have quite a few charities that we support. We did it our second year. We have a pro-am, which is where professionals and amateurs come together and play once a year. It's quite a big fundraiser for the club. And we decided last year that we were going to have a bird cage, which is a nice little play on bird cage, which is they have at the races. And so we had a big marquee, and it was primarily to get more women to attend the event, whether it be, partners of somebody that might be playing, or I guess even friends of members of the club. And that was also turned into being a fundraiser for Hayden's Helping Hands. So we raised money for that, which is a local charity, isn't that right, Alison?
It is, yeah. That is. Yeah. One of our youth, Hayden, actually got the idea to help some of our disadvantaged community. When he was he was 11 years old. He was on holiday in the States with his parents, his family, and saw his first sighting of a homeless person, I think they were under a bridge, and he was inspired. He was just inspired to go, we could do something here. Let's do something in Australia. So he's about 23. He's in his early 20s now, I think.
Yeah, I think he might be. And I think his sister spoke on the day of the Pro-Am, and she was incredibly impressive.
Yes.
With what they're trying to achieve, which is fantastic. So we have a couple of things that we raise money for charity for, and then our other big day is our gala day, and I've already started working on that. So that's something that as a committee we get together and we try and reach out to the local businesses and other golf clubs that might be able to offer something, and that is our big fundraiser for the year, the women's fundraiser, and that money goes to the Liver Newton-John Cancer Research Centre, and last year we raised over $9,000 for that.
Okay.
So that's a bit of a process. We have to send out letters and knock on businesses' doors and things like that. And I guess primarily I'm there helping to support the women that are playing at the club, and also to try and initiate new things to encourage new women to come and play. Alison, I think when you came and saw us, we were talking about the Bridging Birdies program. Yeah, that's my...
There we go. I've still got that from earlier this year. That just sits on the table. Yeah.
Fantastic. That's one of my little babies. And we now have about 11 women that are doing that program. Some have continued on where they get coaching once a week, and then they have a mentoring session as well. And so that might be myself, or I might approach a couple of other women, and they come out and play 5 or 6 holes, depending on how many holes we can get in due to the weather at the moment. Just getting them used to the idea of playing on a course. It's a big leap to go from having lessons to actually jumping onto a course and playing and feeling confident enough to want to play golf on that course. So, a lot of success with that program, which is fantastic.
So, Michael, whilst we wait for Narelle to come back, let's have a bit of a chat about facilities and things like ground lighting. I mean, we know that there's been quite a bit of work on the Lower Plenty and the Montmorency grounds over the last couple of years. So, how are your facilities holding up this season?
Well, before my time in 2021, the club rooms were expanded as part of the I think state government's drive for increasing facilities for women to join into the football and things like that. So our facilities are very good, I would suggest, in club rooms. The league recently did an audit of facilities for clubs, and ours certainly was. The comment was, you're very lucky here, you've got great facilities. So, from a clubhouse point of view, the facilities are very good. The council staff have been putting a lot of work into our oval this winter to try and make sure it remains in a playable condition. So I thank them for that, because I see that a lot of these people I see, because I'm always there, and they explain what they're doing and what they've done. And so it's been very good in that way. They also recently did a lighting audit and replaced the controls in the lighting with a simplified version, which is very good. So I don't really have any complaints about our facilities. They've been well maintained, and now that the car park's getting done, then basically I've really sit quietly on my hands and say nothing. Everything's going well.
And I think is that the car park, I think, is the last thing for the Lower Plenty Club. Is that the last thing that we need to do for your facility services?
I think so. There's probably, on a serious note, that's probably all we need to do, I think. I've got to talk to you a little bit, Alison, about there's a little bit of sealing that needs to be done, that could be done at the same time, which would save the council money, I think, and probably is very little work. So we'll talk about that some other time. But
okay, sure.
The big picture, everything is very much up to scratch. And I think we're all very happy with our facilities.
Yeah.
And Michael, it is the Lower Plenty Football Netball Club. What netball facilities do you actually have there?
What facilities? Basically, we only have an oval. We also share the building with a cricket club in summer, and they have some quite sophisticated netting behind the club room. So, and nets around the other side. So, from a point of view of both clubs are looked after pretty well in regards to facilities.
Mm-hmm.
We only need the oval. We don't need much more than that. We have good change rooms. We put a gym in ourselves and an ice bath and those sort of things so that the players can look after their fitness and well-being and strength, that sort of thing. So, yeah, I think we're pretty much on the ball in regards to looking after our players' fitness, well-being, and the facilities are there for us to use, which is good.
And with the netball teams, do they play in the Banyule netball competition at the Banyule Net Stadium?
Oh, sadly, the netball team's fallen over for the moment.
Right.
And it's interesting that they won 2 premierships in a row and then over the summer period disappeared.
Right.
For different reasons. So we're trying to resurrect that. We do have a women's football team,
Okay.
which we managed to COVID. Unfortunately, it fell over during COVID, and last year we restored that. So and they've integrated beautifully into the football club. We have so much fun because you have the boys, the girls, and our all abilities team, and if they all get together, it's a very inclusive and a very fun time in the clubs. But the girls are doing very well. They won the premiership last year in Division 2 and they're playing off in the grand final again this year. So the women are leading the way. They've been terrific.
Yeah. I think it's really important that we have a conversation about the all abilities teams.
Yep.
This is the only club of which I'm aware in Banyule that actually has an all abilities team, and Nick Sochel has been driving that. I think we're 11 years now. I think this is maybe the 12th season. That he's been in charge, driving it, responsible, whatever word you want to use. It would have been lovely if he could join us, but appreciate that he's unable to do that today. So is there any information you'd like to give us about the all abilities team that we have?
Sure. Yeah, I spoke to Nick last night. Both the teams are in the finals or play finals this week in the feeder competition. Their A-grade side plays at Lower Plenty and the reserves play at Wyndham, I think it is. Mm-hmm. So they're very excited. Nick's working tirelessly as usual, looking after them, and they're very enthusiastic, and it's a joy to watch them. After this podcast, I'll be going to watch their last training before finals, and we've got some players down there helping them. So, yeah, they're a terrific part of the club, and they really bring another side of the club to life, which is really good.
Yeah,
and the players from all three, the ladies, the men, and the all ability side, get on very well, and they integrate beautifully, which is good.
Yeah, there's a really good culture in the club.
Yeah, there is a very good culture, Alison, and the club's very proud of that. That we are inclusive. This weekend we have a Vietnam Veterans Day, which we have every year. So the Diamond Valley Vietnam Veterans Association, I think we've got about 22 veterans coming, and all their wives are coming for a high tea, which keeps that side of the equation happy. So it's always a beautiful day, and we have entertainment. We have the local RSL's organised soldiers to do a bugle and a singer. So it's a wonderful day, and it's probably my favourite day on the whole calendar, actually. So that's this Saturday, the last game of the season. Yeah.
Yeah, and the 18th of August being Vietnam.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact anniversary of the Battle of Long Tau, I think. Yeah. They spoke to us last night, and it's the one. It was very funny watching a room full of young people who hadn't been born for probably 20 years or 30 years after Vietnam war listening to two veterans of the Vietnam War explaining what was going on and telling them, and they were very respectful and very quiet and listened. And it's a good piece of education for the young people, and they get introduced to the players before the game, and I think all the players really appreciate it. And it makes them think about things, which is good.
What's
Michael, can anybody come along to join in and come into the club rooms?
Yeah, most certainly. The ceremony, we have a ceremony before the game that starts at about probably 2:00, 10 to 2. And they read the ode. We have a singer. They raise the flag, the last post, etc. There's an honour guard, and the vets meet the umpires, the players, and then afterwards we have entertainment afterwards because it's the last day. So it's probably the best day to come to football. Actually, it's full of things to do and listen and have a bit of fun. So yeah, everybody's welcome.
Oh, great. Welcome back, Narelle. Just before we lost you, we were talking about women getting introduced to golf with the Birdies Bridging program that you had or have. And the question that we actually had for you is, whilst we know that Heidelberg Golf Club have their internal competition days for women and Women's Day on Tuesday, does the club get involved in external competitions against other clubs? And if so, could you give us a bit of background on that?
Well, funny you should ask that, Carl, because this morning I actually played in one of those competitions. So we have 3 different competitions that our women are involved in, and we are actually quite small in numbers, Heidelberg Golf Club. We only have, we have about 116 members, female members, but we play a lot of competition. So there's, I played this morning in a interclub round. So that's a Yarra Courses interclub round. So that involves Kew Golf Club, Green Acres Golf Club, Latrobe Golf Club, Box Hill Golf Club, and Rosanna Golf Club, and Heidelberg. So I couldn't tell you how many years that's been going for, but a very long time. And that's played around this time over 5 weeks. So it's usually a little bit wet, a little bit cold. And so I did that this morning. We played at Green Acres against Green Acres. And let's just say I won, which is fantastic.
Always makes the day better.
It does. And in fact, Heidelberg had a very good turnout. We had 6.5 wins. And I think it's about the only sport where you can actually have a half win, which sounds crazy, doesn't it? But you can actually draw on the final hole and still have a half win. Yep. So we do that. And then we also have a Friday pennant team and we have a Sunday pennant team. So that's Sunday pennant's usually played around March, and Friday pennant is played after that. I'm yet to be involved in that, but that's one of my aspirations that I'm aiming towards. So yeah, we do really well and play a lot of different courses. Yep. And Heidelberg's a particularly hilly course, so it's always a challenge for other clubs to come and play at Heidelberg. We won not last year, the year before, the first year I played, and I think we would have come second last year. Okay. So we've got 1 week left, so we'll wait and see what happens. But it's a great avenue for women to just enjoy a little bit of competition. It's friendly competition, but it is competition. And I hadn't played any sport before I took up golf. I played basketball when I was in primary school. So it's a big learning curve just to be able to step up there, shake the nerves off and play against other teams. But yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Look, as we said in the introduction, obviously on the field is very important, but behind the scenes, and both of you are involved in that, is extremely important. Without that, you don't have it on the field. So really, I'd like you to talk a bit about the volunteers who make your club what it is, and the leadership that they may bring. And that could even be someone, maybe not necessarily in a president or board position, but somebody who's involved day to day and what they're bringing to the club and how they're creating that fabric of community. So do either of you have some stories you would like to share about some of your volunteers?
Well, we do have... Sorry, Michael, you go first.
You're right, Narelle, go ahead.
Well, I'm not directly involved, but we do have lots of volunteers that help take care of the cause. The tree huggers, they come and do gardening, and some of them have been doing it for many, many years. And I guess, in a way, it's just the organising of social things that a lot of the members do. We try and get as many mixed events going as we possibly can. So, look, even my husband is a massive supporter of the women, and I guess until before I took up golf, it probably wasn't even on his radar. But since I've started playing golf about 4 years ago, he has just been introduced to so many new members because he never really played with the females a lot. And now that I'm a member there, he's constantly playing with the females. And it seems to be one of those things that happened a long time ago. There was a lot more mixed events. And I think it's just something you just got to keep on pushing and championing is the mixed events, because everybody loves it. I mean, you don't have to have a partner who's at the golf club. You can just be someone who was like, put your name down, we'll organise a partner for you, we'll set it up. And those mixed events then turn into the social part, which is coming in and having dinner afterwards. And that's something that we're doing at the moment, which is called Super Sundays. So we have three Sundays, July, August and September. And then it's revenue for the club as well, because everybody comes in and has a dinner and a drink afterwards. So you play golf and then you come in, you have a drink. It's a lot of fun, and it's just getting people that wouldn't normally socialise. And this is something that I actually talked about with my husband earlier. Who would have thought that I would have had this many new friends from taking up a sport? And I think that's what's changed my outlook. I mean, you don't necessarily have to have people as your best friends, but it's so lovely to meet people that you would normally never have socialised with, from all sorts of different communities. And it means that there's not an us and them mentality. You know, everybody gets to come in, and we just say, register your interest and we'll create a group for you. So that's what these Super Sundays is about, and everybody's really enjoying it.
Yeah. So you're looking after people just rocking up for the first time.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. And you know, I think, Carl, that's my thing. I don't want anybody to feel like they haven't been welcomed to the club, and that I feel like I failed as my role as vice president. And there was somebody who did join the club and was too nervous to actually come and play. And it wasn't until we created the Bridging Birdies and she signed up, and I just said, look, I'm so sorry that you've been forgotten. That's not, I mean, we are small in numbers. We can't forget anybody. Everybody has to be welcomed in and feel like they're a part of it. And I think that's my big aim, is to make everybody feel welcome and to also have a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. And that time, that dinner that you have together, that's actually probably more important than the game itself or the training or the whatever. And a lot of clubs do that. They have a canteen, they have some kind of eatery where after training or after a game, you can sit down, you can have something to eat, you can have something to drink. And it can be with anyone of any age, any gender. You're just sitting there and you're having a meal. You're having a meal, which is a great equaliser, and talk about whatever you want to talk about. And that's, I mean, Carl and I are big on networking. That's a networking activity. And then you learn from each other and you work out you've got things in common, You don't have things in common, but you can learn something from each other, and whatever you got in common, you go down that path, have that chat. It always leads to something bigger and better. So that meal at the end is brilliant. Yeah.
And you can have bad golf and come in and enjoy your dinner and food afterwards.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, Alison, you and I were even considering going and doing a bowling team. So, you know, all these things where you can get a chance to meet different people.
Yes. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Michael, have you got some volunteers that you'd love to highlight?
Yeah, certainly. We have a gentleman named Tom at our club, and his son plays in the under-19s. And Tom is just a quiet achiever. He just does things. He every week he checks the ground out and makes sure it's right. And if the dog's dug a hole in the oval, then he fills it and makes sure everything's in place. And then if there's a barbecue to be cooked, then he's first one there and last one to leave. He's constantly doing things, doesn't have to be asked, just loves it, enjoys it. And we've got quite a few volunteers like that don't, other than the structure of the club, the people that are on the board and that sort of thing, there's other people that just step in when they're required. We have a huge ladies' day every year, and there's a group of ladies that just take on that. And I think this year they had 150 women there for the day. It was huge, and the ladies run it really well, organise a beautiful day for everybody. And it's just those sort of people that help the administrators in the club, or the actual board people. They help us. We wouldn't be able to do it without them, because they don't seek any reward. They, just a nice thank you is all you ever do. And I think eventually, and probably the people that don't appreciate it most of the players a lot of the time. But then we were there last night, and one of the leadership group got up and got all the players to highlight the fact that this club runs on volunteers, and the things that are done that they don't even realise get done are done by volunteers. So we got a good round of applause last night, which was good. So people like Tom, who you wouldn't, he just does things. There's other gentlemen and ladies around the place that just do things. You don't ask, you don't know. I see them because I'm around a lot of the time, but you just sort of and they're great. They're also good to talk to, because I was out of football for many, many years, and you forget what goes on. So they tell me the history of the club and this and that, and that helps me with helping them to bring it all together and make us efficient as we can possibly be. And that's what we're trying to do, and set up for the future, because we've now got some younger people we brought onto the board. It's difficult for them because they've got young families. So they're all in the middle of their careers. They've got young families. So to fit it all in makes it very difficult for the younger people. We've got a couple there, and they're doing their absolute best. And as the family pressures come off them, I'm sure they'll be able to, to take up the load. But we've got lots of really good volunteers at our club.
Yeah, and you're right. A lot of volunteers are either older, kind of retirement kind of age, or they're running a household, and there's capacity to be flexible in the day, and you can put volunteer activity in the day. So they're that's how it is. It's how it is. But the fact is, we have so many volunteers across Banyule, so many volunteers, and we always acknowledge them in May, for our volunteer events. The reality is, the world, if we didn't have volunteers, our economy would look very different. Facilities, services would look very different. Schools would look very different. Volunteers make the world go round.
They do. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. You take them out of the equation, there are a lot of things that are not being done, and that's when things aren't as efficient, or accidents happen, or damage occurs, or wear and tear, things break down. There's so much that volunteers do for communities, whatever community they're in.
Yeah, exactly right.
So I'm just thinking about, you're talking about Tom who, fills in the holes in the ground where the dogs have dig up and no one is aware of it. He's doing his job perfectly then.
Yeah, he shies away from it, from any attention. He doesn't like it.
Yeah.
But we've got other gentlemen, and one of the guys, Peter, is the welfare officer, and you know, you don't hear what's going on a lot of the time because a lot of it's confidential, and but a lot of young people have problems that they want to talk to people about, and our coaches, a lot of the time they're confidants to young people having problems. So, we provide a safety net, if you like, and that's provided by volunteers who have done some sort of training to know what they're doing and helping people out. It's a real community that is really supported. Its base is volunteers. That's exactly right.
Yeah, and you're bringing in another point here, that sporting clubs are not just the sport. It's actually the humans that make the club up, whether they're playing the sport or supporting the players. There are other adults apart from parents who can support our young people and be mentors, and they might not realise they are being mentors. That's just the conversations that happen between the youth and the coach, or the youth and the president, or and that's what's so invaluable to each of the players or the members or the clubs themselves, that create that culture of support, connection, inspiration, leadership. All of that comes out of a sporting club. It's not just about hitting a ball or kicking the ball or whatever you do with a ball.
No, there's a lot more to it than that. There certainly is, and we're very aware of that we do make sure no one slips through the cracks and everybody gets support, whether there be an injury or a mental health problem or whatever. We're aware, and the players very much look after each other as well. So it's a really nice feeling that you can. It's just a good community, I suppose, as much as anything. Yeah.
And as a leader in that community, you can go, okay, this is okay, this is great, this is good, that sort of thing. Yeah. And
sorry, Alison. I think that's also that friendship group as well. Whether someone's lost a family member or someone's battling, cancer or whatever it is, they know that even if it's just a little letter or it's that little support group that comes around and drops off some books, drops off some food. I think that's what a nice little network of friendship is about.
Yeah, and it's those little things. It's the little things that make the big difference, that provide that connection. Very, very important and valuable.
Which brings us, we've talked community, and that's exactly what you've just described there, is a community. You support each other, you help each other through the good times, the bad times, help grow each other. So one of the things with that too is partnerships. Let's have a little chat about that at the moment. What are some of the things that your clubs are involved with partnerships, be it maybe with charities or other community groups, etc.? Would you like to talk about them a little bit? Narelle, would you like to start?
Well, we have Bendigo Bank is one of our sponsors. We approached Bendigo Bank when we needed new uniforms for our women's interclub team, the team that I just played with this morning. And Bendigo Bank were fantastic and came up with a grant so that we could purchase some new uniforms. And I guess probably our biggest charity day is the Gala Day, where we raise money for the Olivia Newton-John Cancer Research Centre. Obviously breast cancer, within our women's group has been, like any group of women, has definitely taken a few people or caused a few people some grief. So that's why we chose the Newton-John. And we also have one of our members' sons works in the research department of the Newton-John Cancer Research. So this is our second year supporting that charity, and we hopefully will raise a lot more money for that this year.
Yeah. And when is your gala? When's the gala? Have you got a date for it?
Yes, our gala day is Tuesday, the 14th of October.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's a day where women play golf, and we can also bring a friend along to play golf. But you don't have to play golf. You can just come to the lunch. And we do have a lot of raffles. We have a lot of prizes. A lot of the women donate things, and then we have silent auctions. And so that's our big fundraiser.
And how do you promote that?
Oh, to be honest, that's probably a question I'm not 100% sure more about being in my first year of vice president. It's online. It's on our website, but we don't necessarily go out to the community for that. It's usually within our women's membership group. But do you know what? We should go out to the community, because the more people that come, the more money we'll raise. And as I said, we'd love to have people that just come along for the lunch. Yes. So that might be something that we look into.
Well, Narelle, if you can send me
Facebook page.
I was going to say, Narelle, if you can send me the link to your website talking about the gala, we can promote it on the. We can talk about it now like we have been, but we'll make sure it's promoted in the copy so that people can go to the link, purchase a ticket, and come along.
Yeah, fantastic, Carl. Yeah, I will do that, because Heidelberg Golf Club does have a Facebook page, and those things are promoted on that Facebook page. So, yes, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah. Fantastic. Michael, your turn. Any community partnerships or charities that you'd love to highlight and let us know about?
Yeah, I was trying to think about it. We were talking a little bit before about the Vietnam Veterans, Diamond Valley Vietnam Veterans Association. That's certainly someone we love meeting and helping every year. And we do that with the help of the Montmorency Alpha Mare SL, who are very good partners with us. Our club has a lot, because it's small and is dependent on sponsors who are basically partners with us. We have a lot of local businesses that as in any sponsorship, it's a two-way street. So we try and use their services, and they help us the best they can. And that would include the Lower Plenty Hotel and Tyre Power, a lot of builders, and that sort of thing. And those sort of partnerships help us. A good example of where your partnerships help is one person recently lost his apprenticeship, and within a week we had an offer for him for another apprenticeship through one of our partners. And in the end, he had about 4 or 5 offers. So he's back getting employed, and hopefully have another, do his apprenticeship again or get back into it straight away. So the partners that we have, they help us financially, obviously, but they also, it goes further than that. And we try and keep strong relationships with them, because they can help in lots of ways other than just provide the club with funds. So we have that. Mostly it's local businesses that we have. The community bank, as Narelle was talking about, is one of our sponsors, has been for 14 years. They do a terrific job. And it's a two-way street where you hopefully send them business. Jealous Craig's another one that we have a relationship with. So there's you have to really it's like a garden. You have to grow those relationships and make them strong. Otherwise, they wither. So and it's a big job. You've got to get out there and do it. So we do have partnerships. Probably not the same as the golf club, but we have a lot of. We have probably something like 25 different sponsors that help us along the way. So it's important.
And when Narelle talked about the gala being on Tuesday, the 14th of October, does Lower Plenty football netball club have a business luncheon coming up soon or anything along those lines?
No, we've missed the boat a bit, Carl. We have ours earlier in the day, earlier in the year. Sorry, we have as Alison mentioned earlier, we have a breakfast to celebrate the start of the season. We have a ladies' day, and we have a luncheon, a business luncheon as well. And then every club seems to have a big mega draw in July, which is always a big event.
Yep.
So yeah, we're coming to the end now. We'll have a presentation night in September, which is at the Heidelberg Golf Club, because we have a good relationship with them as well. So it's very much the Lower Plenty community, if you like, with all the businesses, clubs, everybody. As we talk about community, that's all part of it, and we all help each other, I think, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think one of the biggest things about sport is the passion that goes with it. Passion to play, passion to support, following your team or the club that you identify with, and being involved. But we also know that sometimes passion can be misplaced. So would you like to talk to us a little bit about your club's approach around creating those safe, respectful places where everybody can enjoy sport?
Yep. This is a very big thing in the league. Push a lot about respect and safe environments. And we go out of our way, I would suggest, to make sure that happens. We obviously have a women's team, and a lot of them are young women. So we need to make sure that they have a safe environment. So we also have a child safety officer who looks after the younger people around that might be visiting on a day. She keeps an eye out for them. I'm the default child safety officer apparently, so I make sure she does her job. But it's important, and I suppose I'm probably pretty relaxed about it in some ways, because I see what happens around the place and the care that's thrown in it. The passionate people have been there for a long time, know the younger people have come up, and that culture has been grown through the whole club to look after each other. So we don't have, knock on wood, we haven't had any sort of negative events happen. We try very hard to make sure that does not happen. And that's a cultural thing. The league, the Northern Football League, do a lot of emphasis and a lot of training and instruction on how we should behave and how we should respect umpires.
Mm-hmm.
That everybody has, any administrator or someone official has a bib to put on to look after the umpires, to be a water carrier, to be a runner. So it's very structured. And then if someone in the crowd is being negative or being abusive, then it's up to me or one of my vice presidents or someone like that to sort of put an end to that, ask the person to refrain from that and show respect. So, yeah, we actively pursue those sort of things to make sure everybody doesn't enjoy the day. That's the whole idea, yeah.
And Narelle?
What do you find out on the course or in the club rooms?
I can answer that one a little bit. I've played in a number of match play tournaments, and that can get quite aggressive. Playing out of turn. No, wait, you can't play that. You have to play it as it lies.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about rules and regulations there, Carl.
Oh, I know I am, Narelle, and I know that some people tend to want to enforce them a little bit more strongly than others.
Are you talking about only on the men's comp day?
Well, okay, yes, we'll leave it at men's, but maybe you could tell me then some of the things that are on the women's side that we're needing to have that safe, respectful place would come into play.
Look, I think we're very lucky in that we have an incredibly supportive group of women, older women that have been at the club for many, many years. And I think they, look, I'll be honest, I've only ever been a member of one golf club. I'm reasonably new to golf. This is my maybe 4.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe I just chose the right club to be a member of. But we are incredibly supportive. And the older women, and maybe that's why I took on the responsibility of becoming a vice president, because I've only ever been shown the best way of being a member of a golf club. And they really do. They just sort of show you the right way of doing it. And I think the thing that I would say would be my major concern would be to be inclusive. And I think when you have a very mixed group of people that are coming together, and golf is very mixed, you know, there's all different nationalities, different ages, is that we make sure everybody feels welcome. There's not an us and them mentality, being such a small group of a small numbered group of women, that everybody gets to play together. There's not somebody that doesn't ever get their name scratched out, or people just jump spots because they don't want to play with that person. I think that would be my major concern. I don't really think language or things like that, feeling intimidated, is ever a problem. Maybe on the men's day, Saturdays or Wednesdays could be the case. I can't answer to that. But no, I don't think that's really our issue. It's really just making sure that everybody feels welcome, and that we can get as many women out playing as possible.
Yeah. That's good.
Look, before we wrap up, I'd love to sort of pick your brain a little bit about what's your big goal or your vision that you're looking for your club in the next 12 months? Where would you like to be?
I'll go first, Narelle, this time. Basically, I'm getting older, obviously, so I'm not going to be around for too much longer. So what we're trying to, or what our committee's trying to do, is basically establish a couple of things. One is probably a netball side again would be one thing. Financial stability is another, and also to get more young volunteers into positions in the club, because we're like a lot of places, we're older volunteers and people can't do it forever. So we've got halfway there in regards to that, and to getting. We've got a young secretary who Alison knows quite well. We've got a young membership guy, but they've all got young families, and it's very difficult for them, and we understand that, but we try and help them, and they want to do the job as best they can, and it's just a case of finding new people as we get older, and as players move through, new parents come in. So we've got to try and stabilise the whole place, so that the playing side of it, the players can do the best they can do and maybe get us to first division or something like that. So I think we had a meeting the other day where we plan to get into first division by 2028. Okay. So there's a lot of work to be done, but that's the goal, if you like. And that'll only happen if everything else is in place, that keeps the place stable and enables us to be successful in that division, which will be a lot harder. But you've got to have goals, and that's what we're doing.
Okay, Michael. Well, with the netball side, where can people find out about more information about the netball side, how to join, when they're playing, when do they have to be signed up by, etc.?
Yeah, we have a website and Instagram, and what we'll do is we'll have something on the website by probably October, November, because it's a winter competition we'll be in. We probably have 2 or 3 people already that are very good netballers. In fact, one of our girls won the competition best and fairest. So they're good. We've got some good players, and obviously anybody's welcome. But we'll put on our website and now on Instagram, we'll advertise as well for players, and there'll be numbers there which they can contact. I think Jodie will be the one who'll be doing it, but we'll get that organised probably by about November, I would think. But they'll do a bit of talk in the background as they chase around and chase some people up. Yeah.
Okay, and there'll be contact details for the people they need to get in touch with.
Yeah, there certainly will, without doubt.
Fantastic. Okay, Narelle, what's the goal for the women's teams in the Heidelberg Golf Club?
Well, I have a personal goal, and it's within our little women's community committee as well, and that's to encourage a new generation of younger women to come and give golf a go. We have a younger member, Tamika Neal, and she's studying PE teaching at RMIT, and part of her course structure was to create a program, and her her initiation was to create a program called Let's Golf Girls, and that's to encourage girls between 18 and 25. Thanks, Alison. And that's to
Look what she
encourage.
just she prepared that a little earlier.
I know, and it's like a little, here we go. Yeah, that's to get girls to come along and give, just to try it out. So it's like a try before you buy kind of thing. And I think that's the thing that we've really thought about, is that the thing that's stopping a lot of younger women playing golf is they're time poor, and it's the money involved.
Yep.
So those two things are the things that stop girls from taking up golf. And I would like to, and I don't know, Alison, but I know when I went to the Women in Sport night with Lauren Burns, and I spoke to Alita and a couple of the other people, and it was like, if I could create a Bridging Birdies program for youth or for younger women that would allow them to have a little bit of coaching and mentoring at the same time, because we do have younger girls that play golf, but they play it either with their fathers or they play it at times when the other ones aren't playing. So we need to get them together, for starters. And so that's my aim. And so I am actively seeking funding to run this program so that it eliminates the money side of it, and also to try and pay for some coaching for them. And I figure if they can create a network like the older women have, they have the friendship network, and then that will keep them golfing. And then hopefully then we can create, when we have some lessons from the Let's Golf Girls, then they will join the mentoring program. So it's really about creating the next generation of young golfers at Heidelberg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my wish list.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It sounds like you'd need to connect with a sponsor,
Exactly.
possibly in the golfing field, to provide some sort of funding on top of your fundraising. So both angles,
Yes.
that keeps the cost lower
Exactly.
for the young ladies.
That's exactly right. And it's almost like there's got to be a little hook to get them in there to start off. And we've talked about this even when you came and visited us. It's the socialisation. It has to be social for young women or girls. It has to be the social side of it, the activity, getting out and enjoying yourself, and then of course challenging yourself at the same time. So I think all those things will anyway, that's my aim, is to create that.
Have you got a time frame on that one?
Not really. I actually have put together a wish list, and I have put it out there, and emailed Elizabeth Neely, the mayor, and all those things, and hopefully we'll be scheduling a meeting in. Yes, it's a big learning curve.
Yeah,
all of this.
It's networking. It is networking. It is, Carl and I do this all the time.
Yep.
But it is work. It's the 4-letter word work. And it does work. You can get results. It's just knowing, it's getting to as many people as possible, getting through them to their networks to find the support that you need. And it's got to be constant. It's like every day, every week. And it does take a lot of energy. It
It
really
does.
is.
Yeah.
And then also speaking, sharing your story, sharing your ideas. So this is where, Michael has said by 2028. That's why I'm asking you, have you got a time frame? Because what that does then, it gives you that goal to say, right, that is however many years away or however many months away. And we, and in between that time, you've got timelines or some kind of, little mini goals that you attempt to, create and and get to and reach by the time you get to that end date. And do as you're doing is just sharing and sharing and sharing and sharing.
Well, maybe naively, I might aim for next year.
There we go, 2026 done.
But Michael, we might need to steal some of your ex-women football players, because that was one of the things that we brainstormed. And actually, Tamika, who is doing the PE teaching, she did actually play women's football, and then she got a knee injury. So we thought that all of your ex-football players would be perfect for golf. The ones that don't want to injure their bodies anymore, slightly more low-impact sport. So I'm spruiking it out there. Any ex-football players that want to come and give golf a go, but come and try it out.
Send me that beautiful poster, and I'll spread it amongst the girls and see if we can get some action. Yeah, no problem.
I will. I think Tamika did put it up in quite a few of the different sporting clubs. So I'll definitely do that, Michael. Thank you.
Yeah.
No problem, Narelle.
And Alison, from a council perspective, do they have some vision or goals that they would like to see achieved across community sports over the next 12 months?
Look, we've obviously got in our budget various projects for the actual facilities. We're getting towards the end of our female-friendly change room upgrades. So I remember when I was elected 9 years ago, we were starting that program, and we're getting very close to the end of it now. Almost all our facilities, our sporting facilities, have the female-friendly change rooms, and all that means is that there are essentially, the doors on the individual toilets rather than a big room full of urinals. That's the right expression. Yeah. So there's more privacy in the rooms, in the change rooms. So we're getting towards the end of that. With regard, look, I know that the Research Law Plenty Baseball Club has been incredibly vocal throughout my 9 years of being on council. They've been, there are several 25-year, the life members, 25-year members who have connected with our officers regularly. And so I'm conscious that particular sporting ground at Glenauburn Park is almost finished. They're getting their lighting they've been waiting for and talking about for 5 years now. And so finally this financial year, their lights are going to be replaced and they'll have new lighting, and they're very, very excited. And I know that there's one more thing. That's really the end of it for council as far as council's concerned, and then it's just maintenance after that, essentially. But I do know that a lot of the players want a small fence, a short fence all the way around the ground, so that the baseballs, when they're hit far, don't roll down the hill into the Plenty River. They don't want the balls going there. So I'm still working on that one.
Fair enough.
But I know that most, that ground is mostly completed, and that's been under works for the 9 years that I've been on council, including their new club rooms and their new diamond, the drainage, the some of the fencing, the ground. Yeah, so a variety of things have been put in place. The batting cage. Mm-hmm. So I know that Glenauburn Park is almost finished. There are a lot of club rooms and club spaces that are almost finished, like Lowell Plenty Football Netball Club with the car park resurfacing. That's also happening at Montmorency Junior Football Netball Club. Sorry, the Monty Football Club, incorporates juniors as well. Again, their car park is atrocious. And that's one of the last pieces of work that's being done also this financial year, in this financial year's budget. Yeah, so that'll be really exciting when that's finished.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, look, I think that brings us to the end of our podcast today. I think it's been a great one. I'd love to say thank you to Michael Maloney from Lower Plenty Football Netball Club and Narelle Wilson from Heidelberg Golf Club women's teams. Thank you both. It really has been great of you.
Carl.
Yeah, really appreciate you, John. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks, Alison.
You're
Pleasure.
very welcome. You're welcome. This is what we love. It's a great opportunity for the clubs themselves, representative clubs, to contribute and promote the club, share what's going on for you, and then we also, we learn, what do you need from us. And so that's why that's one of the things that we get out of the podcast. So look, we're happy to connect you. If you can be connected, that is perfect. That also is excellent. So we can get you connected to, to promote each other's work, as well as Narelle, you were saying, you want
absolutely.
that poster to go out. We'll work together to get you connected with Michael. Yeah. So I thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Narelle.
Thanks, for anybody who'd like to know more about the clubs involved in today's podcast, below you will find links to their websites and also upcoming events. So feel free to check them out and connect with these clubs. We'll be back next month for another episode of the Champion Chat. Until then, stay active, stay connected, and support your local club, especially during the finals period.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.